Radio Wonderland.
Good evening. It is now 8 o'clock, and this is Alice giving you the latest news broadcasted from Radio Wonderland. Here are today's headlines. A mysterious wind swept the countryside, destroying 3 houses containing pigs. The pigs are now homeless, but luckily a local shelter has taken them in until they can get back on their feet. A trident was found in the Bay Area. This is the 7th ancient artifact to appear in the Bay Area over the last year. Now over to some happy news. Prince Tom of Fantasia, known as Prince Charming, has finally married his princess Cinderella. Oh, this just came in. There's been reported a murder in the 100-acre wood. We have not been given much information, but the police can tell us that the deceased is an elderly woman who was living alone in the forest. This is the 3rd time this month that there's been reported an incident from the same area. We have a crew at the scene of crime, and we're now setting live over to our very own reporter, Rapunzel. Rapunzel?
Thank you, Alice. I just arrived at the 100-acre wood. As sunny and magical it normally is, as dark and cold is the atmosphere here today. I'm at the crime scene now. The police have secured the entire area. I can see and confirm the murder took place in an old cabin made of redwood. The air I'm breathing is filled with a bad energy. I get the impression of a nightmare. The red and white ribbons of the police makes clear that there must be hidden an awful sight inside the cabin. Oh wait. I just heard that we are lucky to have an exclusive interview with the person who found the victim. It is a young girl. The witness will be here with me in any second. This poor girl must have been through something terrible. Hi, would you be so kind to tell us what your name is?
Yeah, I'm Little Red Riding Hood.
And what kind of relationship did you have with the victim?
Yeah. She was my beloved grandmother.
And what was the reason what made you come here?
My mom baked some cakes this afternoon, and because my grandmother was very ill, I went there just to give her one of the cakes.
Did your grandmother have any enemies?
My grandmother? Enemies? She was the sweetest person in the world. That's absolutely impossible.
Could you explain us exactly what you found in the cabin when you opened the door?
Well, can we have a little break now?
Oh sure, take your time. Are you okay?
Yeah, well, so I arrived at the cabin, and when I was going to knock on the door, I noticed it was already open. I was quite surprised because she's always so aware of the security. I really didn't understand, so I went into her house, and then she was lying there on the floor. It was like someone has tried to eat her.
Oh Lord, that must have been terrible for you. Can you describe how you feel now?
I'm destroyed! I can't believe that this has happened to her. She was used to prepare the best muffins and pancakes. She was always smiling, and now I will never ever see her happy face anymore.
And have you seen something suspicious during your walk to your grandmother's home?
No, just the usual. Oh yeah, I only bumped into this man.
What man?
Oh, just a man. He had a beard and was wearing grey clothes. And I had to laugh about his ears. They were so big.
To solve this inhuman crime, what do you expect the police to do?
I firmly hope that they will use all the resources they have to find out what animal did this to my grandmother and put him in jail for the rest of his miserable life.
Thank you so much for your time, Little Red Riding Hood. We know it must be a hard time for you, and we really hope that the perpetrator will get caught as soon as possible. This poor girl. We have secured the distress call, and we have the permission to play it.
911, how may we help you?
My name is Red Riding Hood. I don't know what has happened.
Calm down, miss. Please and tell me what's happened.
I don't know what happened. My grandmother, she's laying on the floor. She's not breathing. Help me, please help me.
Okay, just give us the address and we'll send an ambulance over as soon as possible.
This phone call really shows us the distress and confusion of Red Riding Hood when she found her grandmother lying on the bedroom floor. We have an environmental expert at the scene. He also is a local forester who works in this area for many years. Good evening. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us. Could you share your opinion about the whole situation?
Yes, of course, my dear. I know these forests as the back of my own pocket, and as a young boy, I grew up in this area. Until this month, it's always been a peaceful and safe place to be. But that's obviously changed now.
What can you tell us about what has happened in the cabin tonight?
Well, during my daily evening patrols through my forest, I heard a frightening scream. And as fast as I could, I ran over to the cabin of Mrs. Hood, where I heard the sounds coming from. When I got there, I found her granddaughter, just little Red Hood. She was making a phone call, and together we were just waiting for the police to arrive.
And how did this occurrence affect your responsibilities as the forester of the 100-acre woods?
As you know, this is the third time this month something cruel like this has happened in the woods. I have no clue who did this, but from what I've seen, I don't think this is the act of a human being. I feel really bad about it, and I see my own shortcomings. And as a preventative action, I'm going to hire more foresters to patrol with me to ensure the safety of the inhabitants in the area.
Okay, thank you very much for speaking with us, sir. We wish you all the best fulfilling your tasks here. We will fill you in more details as the story progresses. This was Rapunzel reporting live from the 100-acre woods. Now back to you, Alice.
Thank you, Rapunzel. Let's hope they find the perpetrator quickly. There will be more details later in the show. Now we're moving on over to sports.
Radio Wonderland!
Thank you, Alice. This is Hercules with the latest sport updates. Wide receiver Brandon Stockley's stunning catch helps the Denver Broncos tie the NFL all-time record for a second-half comeback on the road, turning around a 24-point deficit to beat the San Diego Chargers